Okay, before I start the video, I just have to apologize for any like vehicle honks that you can hear in the background and stuff. It's pretty late at night, so I don't think you'll hear that many or that much, but like yeah, just an apology in advance. Yeah, so I just got off from I just came back from dropping my mom to the airport, and I've got to say, right, sorry if I'm doing some weird body movements there. Anyways, I got to say, right, I've like every single time, right? You know what? My head's all messy. Let me just tell you what I'm thinking right now in my thought process. Okay, it's not exactly a pleasant experience, you could say. You know, dropping my mom off to the airport and stuff. Like 2 years ago, I've dropped my mom off to the airport, and she went to the Philippines. Let me give some context as well. She went to the Philippines. I'm half Filipino, so yeah. She went off to the Philippines, and I was left alone with my dad and my grandma, whom I live with, along with my mom, who's currently not here. And things were really difficult. I usually depend on the entire family actually depends on my mom a lot for the cooking, the cleaning, just chores, everything. Honestly, we're kind of lazy, not gonna lie. Um, except my mom, of course. And like it became hard, because I had college and it was difficult because how should I say this? You know, even though I'm not that close to my parents, it's comfortable or it's reassuring to come back home to them. And even though I don't talk to them, it's just that they're always a constant in, this in my life basically. And seeing that constant become not so constant, it does affect you in some way. And I am more closer to my mom than I am to my dad, and of course this would affect me more than if it were my dad, because I did deal with that at some point, but that's a discussion for a later video. Well, she, I since I started college back then 2 years ago and stuff, it was hard because I used to have a very bad schedule. Like, I live pretty far from college, so I have to commute by the local train every single day. And for that, I had to wake up at 4:30. I still do, but it changed a little bit. There's a bit of a problem with the train station, but that's besides the point. The point is, back then I woke up at 4:30, and right now I'm waking up at 4:30 again. And you know, every single time I would come back home and my mom would ask me the usual, how's class, how's everything. And more so than ever, I really need her right now. And I think I skipped past a few points there, but it's just my head's a bit messy right now, okay? And I'm not like emotionally unstable. It's just I'm a bit camera shy. I'm not somebody who does this a lot, so I'm trying to get better at it and to articulate myself better. So please bear with me, okay? Every single time I come back home, my mom's always there, and she always has some good food prepared. And my dad and my grandma, they're not exactly the most best chefs in the world, but they definitely can't make up like good food like my mom would. She is always creative with the way she makes food. She twists, turns recipes in ways that not that many people try. Unconventional, you could call it. And coming back home, I guess I'm just gonna have to depend on fruits mostly these days. But even then, it's like, my mom cuts fruits and stuff in the right way and pretty efficiently, whereas grandmom, and my dad doesn't cut fruits. My grandmom does, and she's not the best at it. She's a bit physically challenged, you could say. Not disabled, but challenged. So, anyways, um, yeah. It's so different this time, because last time everything was so depressing. I was listening to songs on the way back home because it was only just me and my dad dropping her to the airport, and it was depressing because like there was no one there. I wasn't close with my dad, and it was just a pretty quiet ride on the way back home. Except I did have music to listen to, and my dad, well, he doesn't really listen to music, so it was just him sitting alone in the metro train, by the way, that we take to the airport. And you know, it was depressing for a very long time. Like everything went silent, and when I reached home, right, I just wanted to lay down and sleep. This time it's different. This time I don't want to exactly lay down and sleep because I feel like there's some kind of freedom that I'm getting. I get the bedroom, this bedroom, the room that I'm recording in, all to myself, and I can record as much as I want to. And I'll start posting more often, as much as I can. I know this channel is basically a diary channel, but it's kind of like realistic for me because you see, I have a diary which I can't find right now. Where the hell did my diary? Okay, that was weird. I can't find my diary. But basically, my diary, right? I'm very inconsistent with my diary. I don't write in it every single day. In fact, there are like gaps, year gaps. I've only had one diary in my life, I think. And in that, I just recorded a series of events spanning for like 4 years, maybe even five, actually, or more. Yeah, more than 6 years actually. And it's just, it isn't even a big book. It's like yay thick, and I still have it. I mean, it's done now. I finished it. I probably should get a new one because it's much better to record your thoughts and stuff, right? Anyways, this time, right, it's different. It really is, and I guess you could say I'm a bit hopeful for it because I'm a new person. I'm different. You could say I'm different from who I was 2 years ago. Not exactly a new person, but I'm different from the person I was 2 years ago, and that's nice because now I can deal with this kind of stuff. Well, out of this experience, right, there were like three things that happened that are like noteworthy. There's a bit pronunciation problem. Yeah. The first one was this guy, right? It's very tangential, if that's the word. It's just a tangent from the original topic, right? This guy, outside the airports, right? There's like these people who check in the passports and your tickets and everything, like the guards or something. I don't know if you have that there in wherever country you're watching from, but um, right. This guy, right? You're supposed to hand in your ticket and then your passport. This guy hands in the ticket. The guy's like looking at it. He's like, hmm, yeah, this is cool. And the guy, he's just like outstretched his hand, holding the passport and stuff. Like, no, see, it doesn't make sense at first. But the thing is, right? He held that for like a minute. Like that guard was checking for God knows what in that piece of paper, the ticket or whatever. For I don't even know why. And the guy was just like really 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 serious. He's just like that, genuinely like that. Everybody else in the line right behind him or whoever came after him or even before him actually, but yeah, they all like lowered their hand when they noticed that the guard was just checking the ticket and then needed to signal for you to give the passport. That guy was just staring at the guy. Anyways, that's whatever. Anyways, second thing that was noteworthy was I saw a few Asians right in the line as well with the ticket checking because we were standing outside the airport. We can't exactly get into the airport without the passport or the ticket. So yeah, those I saw a few Asians, all right, and this woman, she had like really really good hair, man, like not a single strand of frizz in that. And I just wonder, like, how do you even get hair like that? Like my hair is usually kind of curly. You can't, I mean, sort of, you can see it. I mean, I don't know, you can probably see it if you increase the brightness maybe. I just like to use this lighting. But like with curly hair comes a lot of frizz, and I mean, I wish I had straight hair sometimes, but curly hair is kind of unique sometimes to some people. So yeah. And the third, sorry, I don't know why I jumped next number. Anyways, third thing is like, along with us, right? This time we weren't alone. It's not just me and my dad. It was this uncle who wasn't exactly a relative. It's just an uncle that we know, family friend you could call him, who was also dropping his wife with my mom to go to Philippines because they're both like Filipinos and stuff, right? You guys, you see. Yeah, anyways, so he was there, and we tried to kind of get into the line for the ticket checking to get to the window. Like, there's this pathway that is like full of people lined up for getting the tickets checked, and in that line, right, there's a window here that's like you can see through the airport inside, and through the other side of the window, right, the other side of the window, there's like seats where people just wait for their like whatever sorry, plane they're looking for. Yeah, so we were in that line, and we this guy, right, that uncle, family friend, he was dropping his wife along with his daughter who was like a year or two old, and like the security guard, who's the guy who does the checking with the tickets and everything, as I mentioned earlier, yeah, he told us to get off the line. But because a lot of people were also coming by, it's just like gave him the opportunity to say bye and for me to say bye to my mom. So it's like a scene out of a movie. It doesn't, it sounds very anticlimactic, but to me it kind of was. But I was really out of it that time, because like I was just wondering to myself, like how would I feel after this. It's a very different feeling. But yeah, that's here I am. And things will get difficult. I have to help with the cooking a little bit. I don't have to cook, just help. And I yeah, it's just more responsibilities, I guess. I'm in charge of washing my clothes and ironing my clothes, but it's fine. I'll try to manage, even though I don't have that much free time to myself sometimes. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to talk about this time. It's already reached the 12-minute mark by now. Yeah, so yeah, that's all for this yapping session. I'll get into it. It just hasn't hit me yet. If it does, I'll definitely make a video on it. I have lots of time now. I'll try to start posting more often. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it up till here and you haven't subscribed already, because at this point I only have like one subscriber. Oh, thank you, whoever that is. And yeah, so if you made it up to this point, you know the script, right? Yeah. Boop boop. Get out of here.